iPhone photography just got really serious with the release of the new G series lenses. So today I'm testing out the iPhone 15 Pro camera with the wide-angle 110 degrees, the telephoto ×2 lens in the French Alps, the long-range and short-range macro lenses, the fisheye lens, and a huge anamorphic cinema lens complete with blue lens flare effect. Now, if you own an iPhone 15 Pro, you'll know that it has 3 inbuilt lenses: the ultra-wide angle, the main 24mm, and the 77mm telephoto. But only one of them has 48 megapixels of resolution, the main 24mm here, which is a stunning piece of engineering, by the way. The other 2 lenses, which handles ultra-wide, macro, and telephoto, can only manage 12 megapixels of resolution, which, let's face it, iPhones from 6 years ago could do. Step in the new G series lenses from Reeflex. These attach to the main 48 megapixel camera, meaning that you can now shoot telephoto, ultra-wide, anamorphic, macro, and fisheye, all using the highest resolution available on the iPhone. Plus, you can attach the telephoto lens to the iPhone's 77mm and double your focal distance to 154mm. That's insane reach for an iPhone. But first, let's test out the 110-degree wide-angle lens and compare it to the iPhone's native ultra-wide lens. So I'm here on London's South Bank, and this is a place called The Scoop, perfect location for a wide-angle photo. Here we go. Right, I'm going to take the same image with the inbuilt ultra-wide lens. Here is the iPhone's native ultra-wide image, which is perfectly respectable, but compared to the G series wide-angle attached to the 48 megapixel camera, zooming in reveals the resolution and clarity in that Scoop logo. And focusing on the shard, the quality is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm filming myself here on London Bridge. We've got the shard in the background. I've got the wide-angle G series attached to the camera, and I'm filming in 4K Apple ProRes. And this is the kind of quality that you can expect with this piece of glass. It really is a beautiful lens, solid as a rock too, but we'll talk about build quality later in the video. Let's put the telephoto lens to the test in the French Alps. Ooh. So the telephoto lens is a perfect portrait lens, whether you're shooting photography or videography. I'm currently filming myself with the Blackmagic camera app in 4K ProRes with the telephoto lens attached to the main 24mm, which makes this now a 48mm lens. And you can see we've got some really nice fall off and bokeh in the background. What a beautiful setting. But here's the kicker. If you don't mind losing some of that resolution, you can attach this G series lens to the iPhone's 77mm and get some really professional depth of field and compression in your footage, making this an equivalent 154mm lens on an iPhone. I mean, come on. So I'm getting some proper moody photography with this telephoto lens attached to the iPhone's 77mm. Check this out. This is the main 24mm with the G series telephoto, giving us that 48 megapixels of resolution. And here's a reverse angle of the glacier coming down from Mont Blanc, which unfortunately was way up in the clouds that day. Okay, so what we've got here is a self-portrait to demonstrate how good this telephoto lens is as a portrait lens. It's attached to the main 48 megapixel iPhone camera, and we're using the Reeflex camera app to take the shot on a 20-second timer. This is Dolores. She's helping me gain perfect focus using the manual focus metering. I've got a light hitting the screen in the back to create like a halo effect, and this is your typical clamshell lighting. Here we go. I used an old rangefinder camera placed in the foreground to demonstrate the depth of field available with this G series lens, and zooming in gives us superb clarity and resolution. Now, the iPhone 15 Pro does offer a macro photography facility, but again, only producing that measly 12 megapixels of resolution. The Reeflex G series lenses offers 2 macro lenses, both attaching to the main 48 megapixel camera, the long range and the short range for that really close-up work. Check this out. So I'm going to photograph the same subject here of my wife's engagement ring using the built-in macro lens versus the G series macro ×10. First up, iPhone. The 12 megapixel macro does an okay job, but zooming in does reveal some of that crunchy pixelated detail. Let's offer up the G series macro to the main camera on the iPhone, and with a focusing distance of 1 inch, capturing 48 megapixel resolution with this macro lens offers superior detail with professional fall-off and subject isolation. Doing a side-by-side comparison of the two images illustrates clearly the shallow depth of field and quality of the bokeh with that light in the background. However, if the shallowness is too much for your taste, Reeflex does offer a long-range macro lens focusing at 7 centimeters. Used alongside their professional camera app of the same name, it allows you to apply focus peaking by pressing this button here. With small movements, you'll be able to see when perfect focus has been gained. Even though the inbuilt macro lens focuses closer than the long-range G series, zooming in reveals the level of detail and sophistication of this lens. It looks like what a professional mirrorless camera would produce, with beautiful subject isolation. Simply no contest. The anamorphic lens is an absolutely huge piece of glass. It has a 1.33 squeeze factor, and if you're filming with the Blackmagic camera app, you can apply that ratio factor in the app and get true cinematic footage, black bars and all. And the quality of the optics are really very good. Filming at night, you can achieve a high level of lens flare with that classic blue horizontal streak across your footage. So once the lens is screwed on tight, you'll be able to adjust the horizontal level using this rotating smooth action. Such a well-engineered piece of kit. Now, fisheye lenses are, let's say, an acquired taste in photography, but undoubtedly some of the most creative and fun you can have. Attaching the G series fisheye to the 48 megapixel camera, you can go much wider than the native 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens. This 8mm focal length rivals the world of action cameras, going beyond GoPro's widest field of view at 177 degrees, all the way down to 220 degrees.
Wait.
And the creativity you can have with this G series lens is a lot of fun. And image quality again matches all of the other lenses featured in this video. Now, the build quality of these G series lenses are exceptional. Full metal design with aerospace grade aluminium and 8K quality cinema glass. So they are quite heavy, especially the wide angle and the telephoto lenses. They also come with what's called a Remag magnetic attachment system. The lens covers are metal and magnetic for quick release, plus they can accept the magnetic adapter rings for the equally impressive filter lineup. So Reeflex does offer a quality range of filters, including circular polarizing filters for reducing glare in, say, car photography. They have ND8, 16, 32 and 64 for those really slow shutter speed shots, and 2 variable ND filters for reducing exposure in videography. Everything that you would need for professional video production. I mean, it's like Christmas in here. You can also use the filters without the lenses attached by mounting the 67mm base plate. So you're probably wondering how these all attach to your iPhone. Well, Reeflex offer 2 cases. One is a leather finish effect with a brushed aluminium, and the other is a carbon fiber. Both match the quality of the lenses. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. So there's a Facebook group for the Reeflex photography community, so check that out as well. I'll see you on the flip side.